Good evening, folks. It's the brother AJ. I'm back in full effect, and another one of those Prince thoughts. To be quite frank, I really didn't have nothing to talk about, but I just brought a brand new video camera. It's got a nice boom mic on the front of it, a little bit wider angle lens, so I want to see what the quality is like. So I said, well, I need to come up with something to talk about. Why not talk about Prince? And I said, let's talk about my favorite Prince album of all time. You would think, like the masses, Purple Rain would be the thing that grabbed me. I mean, think of the hits that came off of that thing, okay? Darling Nikki, The Beautiful Ones, the Opus, Purple Rain, When Doves Cry, Computer Blue. I mean, that project was crazy. Take Me With You, I Would Die For You. That's just an amazing record. But the album that got me was Prince went inside himself. He had disbanded the revolution. He went back inside of himself. He had just got himself, off that whole superstar glam thing. And he dropped a double LP, and he called it Sign of the Times. Sign of the Times, just an amazing project. The crazy thing was he also did a movie, Sign of the Times. And if you want to see Prince at his absolute finest, you need to go cop Sign of the Times DVD, go watch it online, any way you can see this project. You get to see Prince. If you never saw him live in concert, this is the next best thing. I watched that movie, and I swear I was sitting in my seat in the theater watching him throw down. It is well put together. He put a lot of work into it, but more importantly than the work was the music. Sign of the Times, just amazing. And no, this is not vinyl. This is the remaster. The remaster that I picked up, it's actually it's 7 CDs and 1 DVD, giving you 8 with this incredible booklet that goes along with it, that tells you the story, basically of what he was doing at that time. Then they throw a couple of cool bonus things in there, like some of his handwritten notes and lyrics, So just to give you that total Prince experience. Of course, some great pictures along the way explaining the whole story of how it came about and how Sign of the Times came to be the project that it was. As I said, I'll never forget when I went and saw Sign of the Times. Me and my partner Kevin Cook. Yo, Cook, if you see this, shout out to you, my man. We went to this theater. We lived in Hackensack, and we went to this theater in Fairlawn on Route 4. It was a little tiny theater. And I'll never forget, we got in there, and those people had no idea that they had 2 huge Prince fans up in this bad boy. We had already had the record, so when these songs came on, we jumped up. You would have thought we was at a concert. Those people started out chill, and by the time we got to the joints, we had the whole theater up rocking with us. We were screaming, singing, dancing. We turned that theater out. It's a wonder we didn't get arrested. So let me talk to you about this album, because the album is fantastic. I have to put the cheaters on because I can't read this little print no more like I used to. So it opens up with the title track, Sign of the Times. Sign of the Times is a Prince masterpiece because he finally talked about the ills of society and the things that were going on in the world. He spoke about drug addiction. He spoke about, going up to the moon, rocket ship blows up. You're talking about the Challenger. He spoke about guns, gangs, the violence, and he weaved this into a song with this incredible bass line that just, you can't let go. It just grabs you by the throat. Then he plays these soaring guitar solos through the thing, and it's just that classic drum machine groove that he was a master of just putting down that you can't stop rocking to. And when I heard Sign of the Times, I just had to play the record over and over. I'm talking about the song, not the album. The song itself, I had to play it over and over and over and over again because it was amazing. And it was great to hear him go inside himself and deliver a project like that. The next song up is a nice little thing he calls Play in the Sunshine. It's got that kind of off-kilter groove to it, and it's more playful, more poppy. And then he drops another dance floor thumper. He called this one Housequake. Jump up on the one, clap, you know, Housequake. Everybody. Housequake. I think the reason Prince speaks to me is because his funk jams are just sensational. When I went to Paisley Park in 2019, as we were getting ready to exit, you come to the last room after you come past the MPG Club and you get to the little gift shop. So right before we got there and we were ending the tour, Housequake comes on over the PA. Man, it must have been about 15, 20 of us. Me, this couple, and this one other white lady that was from like Britain or somewhere. Soon as it kicked in, we start singing the lyrics and we start going in. We turned Paisley Park out, just the four of us, because we was jamming. Let me tell you something. That song is just, it's amazing. Housequake is just classic, classic Prince. Then it goes into a song that me and my son just can't get enough of. The Ballad of Dorothy Parker is special because it's one of the first songs he did when he got to his new place. And he had Susan Rogers working on the console. And when you hear that song compared to all the other songs on the project, it sounds mumbled like it's underwater. And see, it just put the console together. He was rushing her, trying to get a track done. And finally he said, let's just go. And she knew something was wrong with it. And she figured she was going to get fired because she knew it didn't sound good. And she said that was the genius of Prince. Because she asked him, well, what do you think about the new board? He said, I like it. It sounds kind of dull, don't you think? And she realized, my God, this is Prince. He's made all this incredible music. Of course he knew the board wasn't right. But he took what the board was giving him and made a song using what was wrong with the board and made it right in this song. And the Ballad of Dorothy Parker, if you don't know the song, you have to listen to it because it is whimsical. It's something that should have been in Under the Cherry Moon because it's that kind of avant-garde type thing to it. Then he has a jam called It, and it's just a stark, you know, drum beat and a nice little guitar riff in there. Then there's a jam that we all love. That jam is called Starfish and Coffee. And he wrote this about one of, I think, Wendy's friends, Wendy and Lisa's classmates growing up. And he took the stuff that he was saying to him and he literally flipped it into a song. And it's one of his favorite songs in the catalog. Again, it's not one of them classic songs. It's a classic Prince song. It's the only way to describe it. It's got this amazing lyrical content to it, talking about starfish and coffee, maple syrup and jam, butterscotch clouds and a tangerine, and a side order of ham. What? But when you hear the song, it works. Trust me, it works. Then we go into Slow Love, the first ballad on the project, and it is it's written in 3/4 time, so it's got that waltz feel to it, and he does a wonderful performance of that in the Sign of Times video, where you can just feel the weight and the power of that song. Then he does another burner. It's called Hot Thing. It's got this jangly guitar line. Wow, 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 wow. It's just got this, I love the sound of it. It's very elastic and rubbery, but it's held together by a deep bass line. And in the Sign of the Films movie, the version he does in the movie is not like what you hear on the record. On the movie, he puts a little bit more R&B soul in it because he opens up with this incredible B3 organ solo that he's just riffing on. Then he does an incredible dance routine with him and Kat, and they just elevate the song to, it's on the record, it's here, and when you see it in the film, it goes to here because he knew he had a gem, and he showed you what he could do if he just kept messing with it. But Hot Thing is one of my favorite tracks because I love the lyrics and the groove on it. And the song that I truly love that closes out side 1. It's called Forever in My Life. Forever in My Life is a great tune because it's got that classic call and refrain like you get in a lot of those church songs. And he actually echoes his own self, and he'll start a line in one voice and he'll echo it in another voice, then he'll weave the voices in and out, and it is just a masterpiece. I actually recreated it here in my own studio. I did my version of it, and that was a hard song to do because you appreciate how much work he put into this song to make it soar seamlessly the way he put it together. So all of that is side 1. Side 1 alone is one record by itself, and you'd have been happy. But then he digs into the bag and he goes into side 2. And well, if you got the album, it'd be side 1, side 2, then it's side 3 and side 4. So now we'd be looking at the second record. And he grabbed Sheena Easton, who was on her way to becoming a pop star. And he grabbed her for a jam that when I first heard it, I didn't actually like it when I first heard it. And when the video came out, and the more I heard it, and the more I started listening to it, soon it became a favorite song of mine. That song is called You Got the Look. The two of them do a great video with that, and he knew what he had in her. So it's like he wrote that song around her, got her to come in and perform it, and then she tore it up. He did a song for her on her record called Sugar Walls. Sugar Walls is my joint. So that's why when I heard this song, I was like, oh, come on, Prince. And then the more I heard it, it wore on me. It's a great tune, okay? Then we go into If I Was Your Girlfriend. I think everybody that loves Prince loves this track. There is nothing like this song. The way he put it together, he sings in this incredible falsetto. The drum groove is you know, it's just beautiful. He throws a couple little guitar riffs in the back with a nice little lead solo, but it's real sparse. It's very sparse, and it's his lyrics and the forward motion of the song that makes it great. And it's just one of my favorite Prince jams of all time. It just shows you how he can take a little, orchestrate it, and make it seem like so much more. But when you hear the final product, it's just what it needs to be, because that's his gift. He knows how to hear what he hears in his head, figure out what he needs to get it out to the world, put it together quickly, and dust it off and release it into the world so you can hear it. Just an amazing, amazing track. Then he does Strange Relationship, which is kind of a strange song on this project, because it don't fit R&B, it don't fit rock, it's that in-between kind of thing. I like it because it's a strange groove. It just kind of, you know, first when you kind of hear it, you kind of like, oh, then the more strange relationship, and then I can, next thing you know, you humming it and it's stuck in your head. Then he does a Workout, which is the closest thing to like a real rock jam. If I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man. Just a great video performance he does in the movie, and just a well-written song. And one of the things I will say to you is the reason you buy this reissue with the 8 CDs in there is because he does the original demo of that song is in here. And when you hear the original demo of what he did, and then you hear the finished product, you're like, whoa, because the original version doesn't sound like a finished song. It sounds good, but it's not polished like when you hear the final version, and it lets you really appreciate the genius of Prince and how he goes from 0 to 100 as he puts his thoughts together and finally fleshes a song out. So I'd encourage you to spend some Skrilla and get the deluxe so you can hear all these jams, okay? And he doesn't do all of them, but that's one of the songs that he did. He does a great tune called The Cross. I believe it's either The Cross or The Ladder off another project that he wrote with his father, John L. Nelson. And it is a spiritual song. He used to do songs called Sunday songs where he record them on a Sunday. This has that vibe. It's got this, it starts out as this, you know, with just a kick drum, boom, then his voice. and then by the time you get to the middle, the drum comes in, then it's like a bam bam with the hard rocking guitar, and it's just, it elevates it to a place where you almost feel like you're in church, and the Spirit is starting to get into you, and you're starting to get moved, and that Holy Ghost is starting to creep up in you. And just a great song with some incredible lyrics that he put inside of it. Then there is It's Going to Be a Beautiful Night. Now there are two songs that he did that struck me the same way. When I heard Mountains from Parade and Under the Cherry Moon, I was like, ah, okay. And when I heard It's Going to Be a Beautiful Night from the Sign of the Times project, I was the same way. I was like, ah, okay, it's a little catchy ditty. And over time, these are songs that when I first heard them, I didn't immediately gravitate to them, but over time, I started really dissecting it and hearing all the different elements and pulling it together. And it's a nice workout for the band. It's one of them jams that they can take on stage and they can just play around with it. And it's classic Prince again, where he just comes in and does what he does. Gotta wet my whistle here, a little dry in the throat here. Remember, I wasn't going to put nothing down. I just want to try out my new camera, so this is just a test for me. That's some good wine right there. And then, the last song in this project is, hands down, one of Prince's top 5 ballads in his career. He drops this 7-minute opus that he calls Adore. Adore is just adorable. It is angelic. It is soaring. He's got the falsetto working. He's got this incredible organ in the back that just holds that thing together like a good soul jam. His lyrics are just, they put chills in it. When he does his spoken pieces inside of there as he's talking to you through the vibe, I'm almost at a loss for words. I love this song so much that even at my own wedding, as we marched in, our wedding party was so big that I did my own instrumental version of it. I had to do the song 2 times to get everybody in. And, you know, as much as I was, getting married, I was digging my music while I was standing up there with my partner in crime, Basilio's my best man, and the good Reverend Hargrove. I was up there, like, just digging the music. A couple people in the pew, a couple of my boys looked at me and was like, is that you? I was like, yeah, that's me. So, you can tell I love this song. The song was just special. So I just loved it, and I had to record it, and no, mine is instrumental. It didn't have any vocals in it. It was just to show you, appreciate all the different parts. So this was Sign of the Times, man. This was just an amazing project. He dropped this in 1987. So go back in time and think about what was going on in the world at that time. And he was at that point where he was starting to battle with his record label. He was not happy. He had came off his mega success of Purple Rain from 1984. He dropped Around the World, and the day behind that, he dropped, oh my God, I want to say Love Sexy came after that. And, he just was still in the creative space, but he was going through some things. But I am grateful that he slowed down enough to drop this project, because this project, with its eclecticness, it showed people all the sides of Prince so you could get a taste of him. If you only buy one Prince record and you want to get the full gamut of Prince, this is the one to buy, because it's a double record. You can literally get 2 records worth of Prince, where you get to hear him go through himself and articulate who he is. You get to hear him in his glory. He doesn't have the band with him. Now, he did some songs with the band. He brought members in with him. But again, it's really a solo Prince project where he went inside himself and delivered what he felt for himself. So I hope you can feel the love that I have for this project. Sign of the Times is near and dear to me. It's one of my favorite Prince projects of all time. And we're just going to keep these Prince things going, because this man's legacy needs to go on forever. Folks need to know who Prince Rogers Nelson was, what he did, how he did it, and what his legacy means to the world and at large, but also the music world. This is your boy AJ, just coming at you with another Prince Thought. All right? Thank you. Gotta go. Oh, before I go, we're talking about Prince. Can you read my glass? What did Prince say in one of his jams? There are no kings on this world, only princes. Bye-bye.